Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our inaugural Area Football Media Day, presented by the Lufkin Daily News. I'm Will Lanigan, joined by editor Josh Havard and sports editor Edwin Quarles. And we have on stage with us the Huntington Red Devils, led by Coach Carl Berry. Coach, could you just say a few words, introduce yourself and your team to us?
Yeah, appreciate it. Like you said, Coach Carl Berry. This is my first year as Huntington's head football coach. Took over in May from Coach Brian Kaufman, who laid a really good foundation for what we're going to do over the next couple of years here in Huntington. I've got our quarterback, Wyatt Stover, with me, and our center, Marshall Clifton, with me as well. So we're just excited to be here. We're excited to continue to build the Huntington brand and see what we can do on the football field.
All right, Coach Berry, a little bit about getting to this point and becoming a head coach, what led into it, and your thoughts on your first head job?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a quick ride and a wild one. So I was at Lufkin Middle School for 2 years, really 4 or 5 years ago. I worked with their football program. I was a math teacher there, so I just kind of volunteered. And then had the opportunity to come to Huntington and teach and join Coach Kaufman's staff. I was the wide receivers coach and special teams coordinator over the past couple of years. And then just got the opportunity to be the head coach when he retired. So really thankful and blessed that the athletic director, Coach Mixon, Superintendent Dr. Fiaschetti, the board, gave me the opportunity. I think hard work is what we look for in our players, so I hope that that's what they saw in me too when they decided to say yes through the interview process. But it's not about me, it's about these kids, it's about Huntington and making our program as good as it can be. So everything that we do, I hope it is for these kids and our community, and whether it's playing football at the next level, playing basketball, golf, whatever they want to do at the next level, go to work. I want to make sure that we're preparing them for life outside of what Huntington High School is going to offer them. So,
how beneficial is it to y'all as players if you're going to go with a new coach that was somebody within the program, so you aren't starting over like in May before a season starts? How important was that continuity to you guys as players?
Yeah, Coach Berry taking over this year really is a fit for our team because we've changed our offense into a spread option offense this year, and I don't think we could hire anyone to come in and be able to just coach this offense right off the bat. And Coach Berry, just knowing some stuff about that offense that helps us a lot.
Yeah, it's just good to have somebody we know, and we don't have to learn a new personality or learn just a new coach or just what he likes, how his attributes, and just easy. It's easy for us to just hit the ground running.
Talk about the offense. What do y'all like about the offense, and what are some of the changes after that size of play or coach?
Yeah, last year I feel like our offense was stemmed off of being able to get yardage and try and score touchdowns, and seeing who, like, the best thing that we could do was yardage and rushing plays. And this year I feel like our new offense offers a new, I guess you could say, correction, where it's not based off of the offense, and it's based off of you block this player, you block this player. It's more of a team benefit, and it's more of a how you help your team.
It's just healthy that we get to try a little something new and make sure we have it's not more skill based, and it's hard work and team effort, and it helps a lot when everybody can show up and be active.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, over the past 2 years that I was at Huntington as our wide receivers coach, while we were kind of in a spread base, we did a lot of different things, and we never really settled on, what's our identity as an offense. So kind of getting into an option offense where we're going to read keys off of the defense. We're going to let our quarterback use his abilities with his brain, all right, brain first, and then our offensive line gets to be tough. And it just gives us an opportunity where we get to keep the ball close to the line of scrimmage. And I've told the guys, they know that they owe me 4 yards every play. Once they get 4 yards, they can do whatever they want. They can spin, juke, dance, run to the sideline, whatever they want to do, but we need 4 yards of play, and if we can get 4 yards of play, then after 3 we'll have a first down, and we'll keep doing it. So it's just going to give us an opportunity to keep the ball close to the offensive line, use those guys, and like Wyatt said, you don't have to understand the whole scheme as a left guard. You understand what the defense has given us and how you're supposed to block off of what they're giving you, and you don't need to know what the quarterback and the running back and the receivers or whoever else is what they're doing. You're communicating with your 5 guys on the offensive line, and then you can go from there and do your job. So
we also brought in a university out of Kansas to bring teach us this new offense and teach and help Coach Barry with the just drills and stuff to do at practice. It's Friends University. Head coach is Terry Harrison, and they do a great job. They actually just broke the national all-time rushing record for any college NAIA through Division I, and last year they averaged 54 points a game, and out of any college NAIA Division I, they scored the most points in every game, and they had 500 rushing yards in one game, and not one of their running backs had over 100 rushing yards. So it's all about hard-nosed running and how many yards you can get off of each play.
Yeah, and Coach Harrison's a Huntington alumni, so it was really cool to get somebody that knows what Huntington football has been historically, willing to come back and invest in the program as well. So it was a really cool opportunity we had earlier this year.
How did that process kind of go? Did he come down here? Huntington?
Yeah, so he came down at the beginning of the summer and just kind of put on a clinic for us for a couple days. And he brought an assistant with him, Coach Hooper, and they did a great job we sat and broke down film so that our guys knew before we went out and, ran some drills what they're supposed to do, what it's going to look like. And then it was a coaching clinic for us as a coaching staff. And so we spent 3 days at the field house from really noon to 8 p.m. just in a coaching clinic situation where really breaking through, what do they do? And we got to learn kind of the ins and outs of their offense and what they do so that we can apply that to ours. Instead of him teaching us something different that, they don't run, we got the exact playbook that they run, and it's going to be really beneficial for us to have a blueprint, and really cool to have a Huntington alumni be the one that gets to do that for us. So,
the Huntington High School Football Media Day is presented by UBank, your East Texas local bank since 1961.
And will be kind of the key early, like scrimmages, pre-district games, kind of getting that going. How important is it to get some confidence for the guys to show that it can work, whenever you got going on there?
Absolutely. We start with our scrimmages at Cushing and Elkhart, and just going to be an opportunity for our guys to see what it looks like live. And what we can't be is afraid of what it looks like. I think that's kind of where we've gotten tripped up the past couple of years is we tried to install an offense and we went through a game or two and it didn't feel like it was working, and so we abandoned ship and tried to draw something else up. We're going to run this offense regardless of early success, I guess you could say, from the beginning to the end of the season. But I think we have an opportunity with how our scrimmages and our non-district schedule has been built out that we've got an opportunity to win some football games, and I think that's going to build a lot of confidence, especially using this new system for our guys, and see that we can play with any team. I've always believed that, and I was telling them before this, like it doesn't matter size, strength. We've got the ability to do that in different ways, and that's what this offense gives us the opportunity to do. So,
Wyatt, Marshall, what goals do y'all have for this year? I know that's pretty broad.
Yeah, so I've told the guys we have 3 main things that we talk about in our program, but goal-oriented is, are we going 1-0 every day? So I'm not necessarily worried about, we don't have posted on the wall, beat Evadale or beat Warren or any of our opponents. That's going to come in, I think it's 66 days is when we take our first snap in a real live game. But what are we doing to go 1-0 every single day? So at the end of our workouts, at the end of conditioning, that's what we're asking our kids. When they get into the classroom in August, what are you going in 1-0 in every single day? It doesn't necessarily have to be football. It doesn't have to be that I scored a touchdown. But did I conquer something in math that I didn't understand? Did I wake up on my own and my parents didn't have to wake me up. 1-0 can be anything, but we've got to learn how to win at Huntington, and it doesn't have to be on the football field to start. But I think if we can start building a mentality of, well, I got to conquer something every single day, I think we're going to be all right.
We've had our pre-district schedule this year is it looks very great for us because we're playing opponents that have the same history in their school with the football as we've had in ours. And with this new offense, I feel like this will bring a lot of opportunity to get some wins before going into our district opponents during the year.
I just think when it's all said and done, wins and losses, to me as a senior, it won't matter as much as having a good team mentality. And if that's all we have, and we have the best mentality in all of East Texas and all of Texas football, period, that's team mentality. That's the biggest thing to me.
What are some things you two guys as leaders of the team help to do to facilitate that and that team aspect?
Yeah, I feel like showing up to workouts and morning conditioning and agility and skill work after workouts in the morning. I feel like that's a big trait of leadership on our team to get even the older classmen and the younger classmen to get them to push them to be up there and work out with us.
I just I'm not very vocal, but my biggest thing is I want to lead by example, and if I can do what I need to do, I can show others what they need to do.
What have you seen to like this point as far as the buy-in from your teammates, as far as showing up in the summer, things like that? What have you seen?
I think we just need a little bit of work on it, and I mean our teammates they work and stuff like that, but when it's all said and done, we all need to show up. We all need to be there. It just won't happen.
It's a team sport, so we need everyone there if we're gonna succeed.
We've had some really good buy-in from our younger guys. Every day in our communication app, I post, how many from 7th graders to 12th graders we've got. And really our 9th and 10th graders are the ones that kind of dominate that stat every day. So we have a good group of those guys, younger guys that are showing up, but especially for guys like Marshall and some of our older guys, I'd like to see a little more participation from our older guys as well, because it's their senior season or their junior season. And, while we've got long-term goals for Huntington, we can accomplish really great things this year with the guys that we have. So hopefully those younger guys too are setting the example. And that's why, we bring a guy like Wyatt up here as well. He's a 3-sport athlete. He's in the middle of, summer basketball as well with TABC coming up this weekend. They had state tournament last weekend. He's a big-time golfer, so he's been in the middle of golf tournaments as well this summer, and he's still showing up for football when he can. He was out there with us on Monday doing what he could before they got ready for their basketball tournament this weekend. So Marshall has been at every single workout except for when he went to East Texas Baptist to go to their football camp, and then he was at church camp for a week. So every other day, whatever excuse he thought he had, he put it aside and got up and showed up. And we've got plenty of guys that are doing that. But I'd like to see a little more of the older guys doing that too.
It's not easy to wake up at 7 o'clock every single morning and get out there and work out, but it's part of wanting to succeed and have a better program.
Marshall, you being a senior, being your last time through, does your mindset change knowing that this is the last time through? And does your role on the team, how is that different than it has been?
I just think I've tried my best to be a leader all throughout high school, and my mentality's always been that you need to lead by example and not to be, show others what they need to do, and it'll, hopefully they'll listen and follow.
I know y'all said 1-0, a day-by-day mentality, but looking at the district, what can you say about the way y'all stack up with the teams in the district and what y'all are looking to accomplish that in that aspect?
The new district realignment took Teague out of our district and put Trinity in our district this year. Trinity played some of the opponents that we played in our pre-district schedule last year, and it's going to be a dogfight to see who can win that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I try to reiterate to our guys that the sky's the limit for us. Just because we've got the Huntington name doesn't mean that that means we're out of any game. That's why you play a sport, right? That's why you play the game, is because anybody can win at any given day. And we may be playing a 5-star quarterback. We may be playing a 4-star DN. It doesn't really matter to me. We went into our die ball game last year, and we were down 7 or 8 going into halftime, and we let a big play or two coming out of half really destroy our confidence, and that's where that game went south. Versus, we were in the game. And Crockett, I think we're in the game in that as well. Teague, I think, is another opportunity for us. Again, I think these guys can do things in Huntington that have never been done before. I think you've got to buy into what we're doing to make that happen. But that's, as a coaching staff, what we have to do is we have to make sure that our guys believe that they can do it. Because I think you put us in any game, we can go 10-0. But we got to show up. We got to do what we're supposed to, right? And we can go 0-10 if we don't show up and don't do what we're supposed to. But that's why you play the game. Is you got to believe that you're supposed to be there, and we deserve to be in all of them.
I believe that our district is one of the hardest in Texas. We've got Westwood with the 5-star quarterback Kavian Bryant, and we have Fairfield last year with Cole Collins, and they've got a lot of really good skill players on their team. Their defense is really good, and it's hard to play against those teams, but I think if we put our minds to it and if we think we can, I think we will.
You two guys, your families from Huntington, played in Huntington? Yeah. Talk about that a little bit, and your generation, y'all playing there, your parents played there, and just what that's been like. What's that like for y'all?
Well, my mom and my dad both work at the school. They both graduated from Huntington High School. My mom is the dance team director, and I'm Huntington born and bred, and that's all I know. And I want us to win. I want everything to win. I want every sport to be successful. And I think that's who I am.
Yeah, my dad is a high school principal, and he was born and raised in Huntington. He played football throughout his whole high school career, and he played basketball, and he was the type of dude that they put him in to go hurt the other best player because he was so reckless. But he knows what it's like to play in Huntington, and he was on the team that won 4 games in Huntington, and he knows what it's like to win as a Huntington football player. And I just think it's great, like last year when we beat Evadale in the first game of the season, just to have the spirit that after the game, it was so great.
And being Huntington, y'all obviously got a baseball team that just went to state 2 years in a row. Y'all got a basketball. Obviously, you're on the basketball team. It's really good girls that gone to state. What would it mean to y'all to put football on the map, to kind of follow in that success of the other programs?
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Perry, when we were working out this morning, before we broke out our huddle, he said that we will support every team, and they will support us, and they will start to respect us when we win, and we respect them completely.
Yeah, I just think it's good that, baseball and all those sports do great, but at the end of the day, I want football to do good, and that's what I am.
We have an opportunity. I think it just shows that our kids can win. And I think when you're in the middle of football season, sometimes it's hard for our kids to see that. But you look around and there's plenty of success at Huntington, whether it's sports, whether it's academics, whether it's UIL, extracurricular things as well. Band program, high steppers, cheer, our robotics program. We have a lot of really successful people that are inside and outside of our school. So we just want football to be the next part of that because Huntington deserves that spotlight. We have a really good administration, really good principals that do a really good job of making sure that our kids have what they need to be successful. And so we just want to be another reason to highlight that.
Well, it seems like y'all got the support. I covered a few games this year. Y'all stands are usually pretty full, so how can that help y'all when y'all are trying to turn things around? That they're there to support you, give them something to shoot for.
Yeah, one of the coolest things to me this past football season was that first game against Evadale. It was really cool that we got to do it at home. But seeing guys that had just graduated that had come back for that game and just to see the emotions they had because they knew that they were a part of building to that success. While their senior season, we went 0-10, they got to come back and see that early on, we were able to build success off of the foundation that they had laid. And I think that's how the whole community kind of feels. I mean, it's awesome to come out on a Friday night and see our Red Devil Stadium just full of fans. And we want to repay them for coming out and supporting us. I know sometimes it's hard to watch us play a game against Fairfield where they score 4 touchdowns in 4 plays to start the game. But we're going to turn the tide there in a little while, and they're going to have good reasons to cheer. And we're just always appreciative because I know it's not always been the easiest to watch, but it's going to be a lot of fun coming this year. So.
Being a basketball player, coming off of the run we had in basketball last year in the playoffs, I know that Huntington as a community will show up to our games, just like when we played dodgeball ball at the end of the year, end of the district season in basketball. We had so many people at our games that they made the kids get up and sit on the floor on the sideline because there was no seats in the stadium to fill out. And I know if we start winning some games and people start respecting our program in Huntington, that football will be supported just like that.
Regardless of the sport, Huntington has a great fan base. It's a small town. It's a small town mentality. Everybody loves each other. Everybody knows each other, and that's always a great thing to have. We just it's good for us, and I hope we can give them something to cheer for this year.
Yeah, so we have a couple of the ladies from a couple of different of our programs that support football and never get enough credit for what they do. But we've got Sam and Stella, Sam and Stella from cheer. I taught Stella all last year, so I should have known Stella. I just had a brain for it. We have Addie and Kaylee from band. Again, taught Kaylee, so I must be in my summer brain. And Kendall from High Steppers. All these are leaders in their programs as well. And, again, they show up every day, every night to support us. Long road trips. They never get the thanks that they deserve. So we just appreciate them being here today and appreciate them going to be there this season as well.